So not gonna lie, I didn't know that there was actually a Netflix series of Ultraman. Mostly because I didn't know what Ultraman was like a year ago when the show came out. It came out in 2019. And I mostly found out what Ultraman was from the Mill Creek sets, which I've only seen Ultraman Q, which I have a review for. This is the first series of the Ultraman franchise. I keep calling it Ultraman Q, but it's actually Ultra Q, which there is no Ultraman in that series. That series is kind of just about like weird monsters and stuff. So I have a review for that if you want to know more about that. But this is the actual first series, second series, and this has Ultraman in it. And it's really fun to watch. I haven't watched all the episodes yet, but I'm going to eventually. But when I finish it, I'm gonna do a review of this. But yeah, I haven't seen a lot of Ultraman, so excuse me if I get any information about the character wrong. I'm still watching Ultraman. I think I'm on episode 15 out of 39 of that series. So, I'm not an expert on Ultraman and all of his lore or whatever. I'm just a guy who's like watching what's out there slowly and kind of going, oh, okay, this is pretty cool. And, maybe one day I will be an expert after I watch the 30 plus seasons and movies of this character. I don't know how many there are, but there's a lot. Because this show's actually been running since the 60s, but as different series, of course. So this is, I don't know if this is a good series jumping point, because there are parts of this show that felt like it was catering to older fans, like how they hinted at a younger version or older. So I guess I should just start with the plot here. Ultraman's son is now obtained the powers of Ultraman, and now he has to become Ultraman and take on the powers of being Ultraman. And so, so there's lots of discussions of the morality of what he does and other things like that. It's weird because this show's actually rated TV 14 on Netflix for language, which, yeah, there's like a little bit of cussing in like one episode. I think they say like the D word or something. But like, there's actually some blood and kind of gore here. Not anything major, but there's enough hinted at violence that makes you go, oof. In fact, there's lots of discussions about anti-violence tactics, which I think is kind of dumb, because what this series is, it's Godzilla. I mean, it's just this giant alien dude fighting other alien dudes. Okay, that's what this show is. That's what Ultraman is. And that's the point of Ultraman, okay? I don't want to be questioning. When you're watching Godzilla fight a giant monster, you're not thinking, does he really need to kill that giant monster? No, you're thinking, man, this is freaking cool, right? Giant robots and aliens fighting each other is freaking cool. You want to watch that. I don't want to question the morality of that, because that's not the appeal of this character. I think if you want that out of Ultraman, I don't know why you would. It's okay. It's only a 13 episode season. It's a decent superhero like show. Like story-wise and I guess character-wise, but there's nothing more to it than that. It's your basic superhero show where like there's the older guy who's retired, and now this guy becomes this hero, which is basically a plot of Batman Beyond, except Batman Beyond is way better than this show and actually great, and you all should watch that show. And the movie Return of the Joker and everything else involved with that show, because it's great. But this show is okay. It's just okay. There's not much to say about it. The only major problem with the show is the animation. The animation is terrible. The aesthetic and the style it's going through, it's like CG anime. Now I should mention I did watch the English dub on Netflix. There's a Japanese dub. So why the animation is so bad is the lip movements do not match up at all. And for comparison's sake, I did take the first episode. I watched the first episode in Japanese, and then I rewatched it again in English. And both languages, the lip movements do not match up what the characters are saying. And not only does the lip syncing does not match up at all in both languages, the character movements are ridiculously slow at times. They just slow down sometimes for no reason, and it looks awkward, it looks weird, and it's ugly to look at. It really is. There's no other way of putting it. It's just ugly to look at. And like, it looks pretty good in a lot of the action sequences, but even there are times where like the movements are ridiculously slow. I can see why I didn't know about this show, because there's not much here. This show is not that good of a series. It may get better with a second season to be able to flesh out this idea, but I don't think so. The show had 13 episodes to sell me on it, and it just didn't. 13 22-minute episodes without any major format changes throughout the season. And yeah, I just don't think there's much here. And if a season 2 comes out, I'll probably watch it and do a review on it, because, you know, there's always potential for things getting better, but I don't think there will be a season 2 for this show. I don't think this show is very good. I don't think this show will appeal to Ultraman fans of the franchise, because it is so not Ultraman. This is not what Ultraman is. From the little I know about Ultraman, I understand that this is not Ultraman. The point of Ultraman is he's just an alien defender hero who defends our planet from aliens and stuff. And, you know, things like that, and monsters that attack our planet. Yeah, it's kind of silly, it's kind of goofy, but that's the point of Ultraman. So, I don't know.